Hey team, welcome. If we've not met before, I'm Katie, and today is a little bit different on the whole video content. So for context, I had a couple of weeks out of the office due to surgery. So I had my nose done, no secrets, not hiding anything. You know, you can have a look now. It's still very swollen, but so for me, it was very, very strange to have complete time out of the business, and it was kind of like forced leave, if you know what I mean. The things we do for a holiday around here, we go to the extent of surgery, but it was actually very nice because it forced me to chill, and it wasn't like the type of chill where I could do other things. I was genuinely on R&R, feet up, absolutely chilled, which I've not done for a very, very long time. And coming back into the world of KO, obviously you've got a mountain and a snowstorm of emails. I always say it takes a week to get over a week, and I was out 2 weeks, so chaos. And I put up a story on my Instagram to say, hey, I've been out a couple of weeks, let's catch up. So I did that, but what was I didn't expect were the questions I started to get, because usually we chat all things property, investment, strategies, and I was ready to spill all the tea. But I did have a lot of like personal and questions about growing a business. So it seems that a lot of people are in that realm, and I'm excited to dive through those because it's content that we don't normally do. And I will do a Q&A purely for my property team who are looking to source, invest, and looking for some really real property advice. But today we're going to chat all things business owner related questions, how I cope, and how we make it all happen. So let's catch up. Okay, so first one first, we had, what is your role in KO Estate? What a very good question. Sometimes I don't know myself. I would say over the last 6 months, my role has changed massively. Obviously, I founded the business, so I started as a founder. And as all founders do, you found yourself as a one-man band. So I was HR, I was recruitment, I was finance, I was sales, I was marketing. Like, you are literally just this one-man band managing everything. At the end of last year, I got to the point where I was like, this is absolutely uncontrollable, like way out of hand. Like I'm not, almost to the point where you're not enjoying it anymore, because all your time is just doing the ins and outs and the nitty gritties. And some days I'd be sending t-shirts off, and other days I'd be sorting out the P&L, and other days I would be sorting out recruitment. And honestly, there was not enough hours in the day. And what I found was that I was doing a million jobs and doing them badly, if I'm being completely honest, because I did not have the bandwidth to do all of those jobs. And in retrospect, in hindsight, I think what we had done is we had hired, but we'd had hired heavily in sales. And when you hire someone, then you suddenly feel responsible for making their success incredible. And our team are commission only, so you know they have to come in and get up and running straight away. So for me, I really wanted to support the success of the team and make sure they were absolutely flying. So what that did mean is, because we were growing this sales team, suddenly we had an increase in need for operations, HR, and marketing. And because there was no one else, not because I was particularly good at those roles, I ended up adding more and more on my plate to support this sales team that we grew out. And retrospectively, what we should have done is grown out the operations and the back office of the business at the same time as growing the sales, so that you've got the support system and the processes to actually support the sales team that are coming on board. But retrospective is a lovely thing, and we learn a lot through the process. So that pain and that stress at the time really taught me the lesson that you need the infrastructure in order to help you grow and scale. We were quite literally building the plane whilst we were flying it. So we were bringing in these salespeople, but then realized we didn't have the systems, the processes, everything around it to make a sales team successful. We needed phone systems, we needed processes, we needed the CRM system completely redesigned in order to support all these new sales staff. So in honesty, it was an absolute car crash, and I definitely felt it. It was very stressful, very long days, and you just know it doesn't feel right when the thing you absolutely love, you're just like, what is the point of this anymore? Like, why am I going through all of this? So that was probably about 6 months ago, and then we realized where the pain points were and hired accordingly. And honestly, the team we grew around has massively, massively helped. So much so that I had 2 weeks off, and the whole team is like slick Rick F1 operation. I mean, we've got lots of gaps, lots to learn. I'm not saying we're perfect in any means, but it allowed me to have 2 weeks off uninterrupted, and the team actually flourished. I actually realized I was the biggest chokehold of the business. When you look back, because I had all the systems, all the processes, everything that needed to be done had to go through me because I had all the admin access. I was the only one able to do X, Y, and Z, which meant that think of like every single thing wrong in business, and we had a lot of them, we had more issues than Vogue. Every single problem had to come to me, not because the team aren't able to support or didn't want to support, but they genuinely couldn't because they didn't have the access, or they didn't have the know-how, or I had helped set everything up and I hadn't had that handover. So we recognized there was a huge gap in terms of like our systems, our processes, our access rights to everyone in the company to allow other people to take that work on. So that was definitely a very stressful period. Like, long story short, I was trying to do it all. I was doing very basic jobs, which I shouldn't have been doing at all. Like replying to DMs or in emails, and then at the same time I was making financial decisions. We were hiring, we were firing, so it was just kind of really out of hand, and we just didn't have the staff and the kind of manpower to get everything that we'd done. We'd overcommitted and didn't have the team to happen. So my role in the last 6 months has definitely changed, because if you'd asked me 6 months ago, I was everything. I was HR, I was finance, I was wearing all the hats. And now, if you ask me today, I have a much more focus. So my kind of area at the moment is marketing, and also involved in the back office and management-based decisions. And I've got a much more different goals. It's giving me a lot more time and the headspace to think as a company, where should we be going? What's the direction we want to be moving in? And actually having that time to work on the business rather than in it, which I always say is so important. You know, where you just sometimes don't practice what you preach because you don't have time, or you fall into a hole, or something happens and life happens, and not always can we be perfect. But that was something that I identified and I needed to change immediately, because it wasn't good for me, it wasn't good for the business, and all round was just an absolute car crash. So my actual role now is CEO of KO Estates, but myself and Jake are both CEOs, but Jake takes a look on the sales side and I'm more marketing, back office and operations. So we've identified that, and not only have we identified that, but we've actually built out the teams to support that as well. So my role's definitely changed, because instead of doing the doing, I'm actually managing a lot more and being more strategic, like I said, thinking about the bigger picture, pointing us in the right direction, getting the right people around the table, and a much more focus on market content as well. So it's a shift that has made me so much happier. It's given me a lot more headspace, a lot more breathing space. It means that I can actually be good at one thing rather than bad at 100 different things, because I'm just taking on too much. And it's actually also empowered the team to take on more responsibility, and we're better than ever. So I should have stepped out the way a long time ago, but we have to have these painful lessons, and that's definitely one of them. So yeah, if you ask me today what my role is, I think that's kind of summarizes it, but it's definitely not an easy journey to get there. And at the start, you do have to do anything. And I actually think it's a benefit of having a little taste of everything, because when you are personally building out the team, you know what to look for, you know what skills are involved in that role, and you can have a say and understand what they are talking about. You might not have the very technical ins and outs of that particular role, and there'll be a lot of more people that are much better qualified at any particular role than yourself, but at least you can have a conversation about it because you know a little about a lot, if that makes sense. So I love that question, and it'll probably, if you ask me in 6 months' time, it'll change again. It's always going to be evolving. Okie smoky, what is next? Productivity, one of my favorite questions. Okay, how do you find time for everything? The short answer is I don't. Like, if I'm being completely honest, I do not have time for everything that I want to do in life, okay? You can't have the social life, the family life, the work life. Like, I don't believe you can ever be in complete balance. It's hard to say. So I believe you can have complete balance, but at different points of your life, you'll have different priorities, if that makes sense. So if you are choosing at this point in your life to have complete balance, then that is achievable for you. However, you've got to realize if you're looking for complete balance, that is not the same as having incredible business growth or incredible relationships, and you want to put all your focus in that area. Okay, so I, at the moment, based on my goals, is very much business focused and business heavy, and naturally, if I am really trying to get the growth that I want to see, I'm going to have to spend more time in that area. Unfortunately, the other areas don't get as much, but that's not like boohoo, feel sorry for me. That's my choice based on the goals that I want at the time, and the goals are always changing, so there's no right or wrong. How do I find time for everything? I think that's a very, very broad question, but in terms of like life in general, I definitely don't have the time for everything, but you will know what your priorities are at any one time, and through life they will change at different points of your life. Right now I'm at the point where I can be very business focused, and that doesn't mean that friendships, relationships, health and fitness, that they're all at zeros. My business might just be at 90 and those things are sitting at 50 as opposed to 100. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of prioritizing areas of your life and dictating your time accordingly. So I have goals across all areas of my life: relationships, health and wellness, business, financial, for the year. And that helps you kind of dictate, okay, well, how much time do I need to be spending? So how I do it all, I don't, but once you've got your priorities in order, you can work backwards from there. And I am very much, I wouldn't want to say a control freak, because I'm definitely not, but in terms of like timing and scheduled, I'm all over it like a rash. Like I hate being late, I hate other people being late, and I think my life works a lot better when I've got structure and a process in place. So for me, that looks like planning what I want the year to look like, a month to look like, a week and a day. And I do that as regular, like every single day I'll be planning for the next day. At the end of every single week, I do a weekly review, what went well, what didn't go well, looking forward to the next week, and the same for the month and also for the year. So I'm continuously checking in and understanding what's not working and what is working, and what's coming up, and planning accordingly. And that way, those big goals that we set, I can make sure on a day-to-day basis, on a week basis, on a month basis, that I'm actually reminded of what the key priorities are, and making sure my week aligns with that, because there's no point saying my biggest priority is health and wellness but cramming your diary so full that you can't even make time for the gym. So once you know your priorities, you can then make time accordingly. I'm the biggest planner, like when you are meeting friends, when you are need to go shopping, when you need to have your meetings, like making sure you are structured, making sure it's all scheduled in, and making sure that you have time set aside. For me, my mornings are my favorite time of day. I am the most energetic, can concentrate the most, I can really focus and get some deep work done in the mornings, and I prefer not to be distracted in the mornings. And I also love spending some time in the mornings for me, setting myself up for the day. That usually looks like the gym or some sort of movement or some sort of activity, then sitting down and getting ready for the day. Everyone is different, and I'm not sat here going, my way's the best way, because it genuinely isn't. It'll come down to who you are as a person. You'll know, are you a early morning person or are you a late night person? We all have the same 8 hours in the day, so there's no right 24 hours in the day, so there's no right or wrong, but understand where you perform best, how your diary should look for you, for your optimum happiness, for everything else, and then plan your day around it. In my dream ideal day, obviously it doesn't always go like this because you have things that you just cannot arrange, but I would get up between 5 and 5:30, I would work out, I would shower, I would get ready for the day, and I would be literally working by 7:30. I would work head down for like 3 hours, maybe grab some breakfast, another couple of hours, and then push all my meetings to the afternoon, where I don't have to kind of think so much, I don't have to like focus and concentrate so much. It's more talking, conversations, etc. So that would be my dream day. Then I would log off, wrap up, I'd get some steps in, I'd have something to eat, and I'm honestly in bed for like 9 p.m. I'm absolute grandma. I love getting into bed just super early, but I'm up early, okay? So I need the rest, I need the beauty. And for me, that's how I feel I'm most productive, how I get the most out of the day. That continuous continuous rhythm. Like even when I'm traveling, I try and keep my like sleeping times the same. Like it sounds really, really funny, but I think it does have a massive impact. I look to automate as much as I possibly can in both the business but also life. In life, the way you can do that is ordering food prep to arrive every Sunday. I don't have to go shopping. I don't have to think about what I'm going to eat. I don't have to think about anything of that because it's on a subscription. It arrives on a Sunday. I don't have to do anything. It just arrives. I put it in the fridge. Like stuff like that where you can just automate it, makes your life so much easier. In the business example of this, automating emails to come in to be filed in a certain order, to get rid of the spam emails, to really understand which ones you actually need to do and action in the right time. So there's so many different things and loopholes that you can put in place to actually automate as much as possible, because the more we can automate, the less you have to worry about. My productivity advice to anyone would be a routine. Whatever your routine is, stick to one, give yourself that structure. Automate as much as possible. It could be the silly little things, ordering a subscription, or it could be getting a VA or some sort of support. You have so little time on this planet. Time is, I don't have anxiety. I hate the word saying of like, I have anxiety, but if I'm going to be anxious about anything in life, it always is to do with time and the fact that we don't get much of it. That really, really worries me on a daily basis, and I just think I want to maximize every single second that I have. So productivity for me is massive, and if you have any comments, suggestions, definitely pop them in the comments because I'm always looking to optimize that. So 100% great question. I hope that helps. It's just a few things I do. You've got to find what works for you. But definitely planning, understanding your key priorities, starting there first. Don't get distracted, keep focused. Once you have picked your priorities, nothing else matters. As long as you're moving those forward every single day and remembering to do so and ignoring the fluff and the stress and everything else that gets thrown on your plate, just go, absolutely not. These are the 3 things I decided on. Those are the 3 things that are happening. If I show you my book, so basically, I'll have to show you like on a little photo. My daily plan would be, I have a book, old-fashioned pen and paper, love it. Like, can't go wrong. You're not gonna get me to convert. I do have all the electric diaries, but you're just not gonna get it. Sorry, not sorry. And on the piece of paper, every single day, I'll have my meetings in the top corner of like what is already planned for that day. I will have a maximum of 3 big tasks that I want to get done. And then I also have like mini tasks. So like 5-minute or just urgent things that need to be done that can be slotted in and around meetings, when you're here, when you're there, just little things that need to be done. That way we've prioritized, we know what's blocked out in the day. You've got 3 major tasks to do, and any extra time that you have, like between meetings, you know, just like those spare 5 minutes between meetings, you're just like, I'll box that one off. I'll box that one off. And that's how it looks. Genuinely, I keep it simple. Great question, because I'm always up for a bit of a productivity hack. Let me see. Okay, this one actually made me laugh, and it's very fitting, seeing as though where I am sat right now. Are you moving to Dubai? Very good question. I'm actually sat in Dubai right now. Let me take you to the window because it's such a pretty view. Can you see? I just love the, we've got the wheel over here. We've got the Palm, the Atlantis. So we are actually in Dubai right now for about 10 days. Short, I don't know how to answer this. It's definitely on the cards. Okay, we're actually here now, and although my outfit screams I'm sitting in Manchester right now, it's because the aircon is so cold. We've had aircon wars. I'm over here at the moment with Jake, my boyfriend, and Tom, my brother. So I'm outnumbered. 2 guys versus 1 gal. It's not gonna work. They're always moaning, it's so hot, it's so hot. So the aircon's on like -4 degrees. It's absolutely Baltic. I've got a cold from the aircon. I am sat in a country which is currently between 35 and 40 degrees, and I am sat here in trackies and a hoodie because I am that cold. So, long story short, yes, I am in Dubai at the moment. We're here for 10 days, and we're actually looking at some places. Our plan is to spend a lot more time over here. We have actually set up the business now officially, which means that we can spend more time over here and actually do a lot more business over here, which is amazing because we do have a lot of clients this way, and actually being able to see them in live, meet with our partners, our agents, our clients, has been so much fun and amazing and something we want to do a lot more of. We are coming into the summer months, so we're definitely going to dodge that like the plague because it gets so hot, but we're back over in September. So in terms of moving to Dubai, not currently right now, never say never. We definitely want to spend much more time over here. We really, really like it. In terms of settling down like lifestyle, I'd say we probably will at some point move over here, but I don't know whether it's a place I'd want to settle down. But I do fall in love with it every time we come. I'm not sure. It changes every single day, but over the next couple of years, we'll be spending much more time here. We've got lots of friends, we've got lots of work going on out here. So for us, it's kind of a no-brainer. We really, really enjoy it and love the lifestyle, love the vibe. Do you know what it is for me? It's the people as well. The people over here are very, very entrepreneurial. So if you're not aware, Dubai as a country, you can't just kind of live here. You have to have a reason for being here and you kind of have to demonstrate your earnings in order to stay. So I've never seen a homeless person. I don't think that exists over here. Everyone here is very, very entrepreneurial. A lot of people own businesses. There's a lot of successful people. There's a lot of money flying around, which is, I find it very, very fascinating and a lovely environment to be in because I find the people around you are very successful, which is very motivating. It's very inspiring. They always say like your network is your net worth. Like, just the people you meet out here are really, really cool, very, very interesting, and you can learn a lot from them. So I love both the culture, I love the weather, I love the people. If my family and friends were out here, be out here in a heartbeat. So yeah, never say never, maybe in the future, but at the moment we're just kind of using Airbnbs. We're staying for a lot longer and enjoying ourselves. What do you earn per year from what you do? Oh! Cheeky question. My mum said you can never ask a lady how much she earns. But I admire you for it because I'd be asking too, so don't you worry, whoever posted this one. So don't you worry. I love the confidence, I love the question. And I think that is an old-fashioned thing, you know, where you're like, don't discuss pay grades, don't sod all that. I love the questions. I love asking. I love knowing. Figures do excite me. I do find it very, very fascinating. Having said all that, am I going to tell you? Absolutely not. Do you know what? I am an open book when it comes to the business and what we do and how we do it and everything. But my personal income, I've decided recently I'm going to take the fifth on that one. Basically, what I earn as a company is very, very different from what I earn in my personal account. Because the whole company isn't my money, it's the company's money. So what I take personally is very, very different. I obviously take a salary, I take dividends. And the main reason I'm not going to tell you is because I find it awkward when friends and family and people know how much I'm earning. Like I've had a few comments recently where like I've offered to buy a drink and a friend has been like, oh, well, she can afford it. And I'm just like, you can afford it. It's a £2.50 Diet Coke. And it's just a comment that's not needed. So I'm just going to step away from that one for now. I just don't really like the vibes of everyone knowing. So maybe that is why the old-fashioned thing was like invented. Maybe people just don't like that. But yeah, company and business stuff, I am an open book. But my personal earnings is for me only. So hence, my investment strategy. This is a juicy one. I love this one. Okay, my personal investment strategy. I've got to caveat this entire question with I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not giving you advice here. I'm purely telling you what I currently do and take what you want out of that, okay? Listen to me, don't listen to me, who the hell knows? But you asked the question, what is my investment strategy? My personal investment strategy is very property heavy. I'm 80 to 90% property based in terms of where my investments and capitals are, and that is simply because I know it. If you're new here, I'm a founder of KO Estates, which is an investment agency selling investment properties. So I'm in the industry day in, day out. I find a lot of opportunities that cross my desk, and the ones that I like, I will look to purchase and move forward on. And a lot of the stock we actually sell at KO Estates, I buy into as well. I always take the motion of if it's not something I would invest in, I'm definitely not going to let clients buy it. So that is why I'm very much property based. I have ISAs, I have stocks and shares. I've not got an in-depth knowledge and the ins and outs, and that is why I'm not heavily invested in it. Does that make sense? I personally think you should invest in something you know about, because you need to know the risks, you need to know what's involved, you need to know what to expect. And because I've not had a chance to really study the market, the ins and outs, and what I should be doing, I've invested where I know is going to be worked and it's going to suit my investment strategy and my long-term goals. So my stocks and shares and ISAs, I do have all that. It's very, very basic, plain Jane vanilla, Vanguard, the top companies, kind of like mixed index fund type thing. Very, very simple, because I don't know the ins and outs. I never try and time the market. It's on a monthly chuck it in. I don't even know kind of what's happened with that account, what returns I've got from that account. I just continuously chuck it in, and at some point it'll be a nice little payday, maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed, who ever knows. But that's what I do in terms of that. And the only other side of things that I've been starting to look into is crypto. Late to the party, I know. A lot of people have already made their millions in that space, but I have been doing a lot more research on it in my free time. Nothing in depth, like I'm never gonna be a Forex day-to-day trader, but I was very aware it's the way the industry's going. I also imagine you'll be buying and selling property on the blockchain. And I thought, we're in the 21st century now, Katie, you really should know what people are going on about here. So I've been doing little bits of research on the crypto and have a small amount. Again, I'm no expert, so it's small with a little s, because I really, really want to understand it more and more. And I actually find it interesting. Like, I love to learn. I love to learn about this whole new investment strategy that we have available to us. So yeah, fun fact, that's what I do in my spare time. Not just learn about crypto, but learn about so many different things, reading books, watching YouTube, so many different people, and I've learned a lot. You take a lot from all these videos. That is personally, and obviously the businesses, KO Estates, KO Academy, but I kind of see those as self-funding businesses. So my personal investment strategy is all wrapped up within the realms of those three, if that makes sense. I'd be very, very interested to understand what other people's portfolios are like. I'm very aware of the whole risk factor, diversification, and that's why I'm interested in exploring. You know, I'll never say never. I'm not going to sit here and be like, property till I die and I won't look at anything else. Like, I'm open to it, okay? Property is an absolute safe bet. With the right investment, an incredible tenant, you are going to be singing and dancing all day, every day. How and ever. It's a big world out there. Let's not lock ourselves in, if that makes sense. Okay. Let's do one more, because I have been chatting away for some time now. The final one I wanted to answer is, I want to get started in sales. What is the best way to get started? Very good question. The best way to get started in anything is to take action, dive in, and learn as you go. I am a learner on the job type of person. And although I like to be planned, although I like to have a plan and a goal, at the same time, I understand how important it is to just dive in and learn as you go, because you will learn in the quickest amount of time when you're actually thrown into the deep end and just do it. So if you are sat here and saying you want to start in sales, and I'd give the same advice if that said, I want to start a business, I want to learn to ski, I would say go do it, okay? No one on this planet is going to do it for you. If you have an inkling about anything you want to do in life, go and give it a go. Go and do a free trial. Go and try a lesson. Go and book yourself in. Do one step. Literally right now, it'll be a 5-minute task to move yourself one step closer in that realm. So if you want to get started in sales, watch a video on the best 5 tips that you need to learn in sales. If you've never done sales before, the first thing I'd do is learn it inside and out, and throw yourself into an environment where you are going to learn on the job, sink or swim type of vibes. If you're looking to get into sales, it can be so lucrative, and it's a skill. It is a skill that can be learned, it can be developed. The only way you're going to do that is, 1, be around incredible people that are going to be able to give you that advice and help you and teach you along the way. And also, doing it. The more often you are doing something, the better it's going to be. Say it takes 10,000 hours to get your first sale. You could do an hour a week. Think how many weeks it's going to take you to get that first sale. Or you could cram as much as possible week on week on week on week and actually get to that 10,000 hours in the first month and you've got your first sale. So long story short, it's sales you want to do. If it's anything you want to do, I would advise you to take that first step, take that leap, make it happen, throw yourself in the deep end, put yourself in a position where you can give this a go. And when I say throw yourself in the deep end, that doesn't mean quit all your jobs today and go do that thing, because for some people that's not going to hit. It wasn't for me. I had to do my side hustle at the same time because I'm not the type of person who's like, burn the boats, we're going in. I want to have a little bit more security. I want that risk tolerance, you know? So not everyone's like that. And if you are like that, then I absolutely applaud you and bow down to you, because you are brave and you probably will get there a lot quicker because of the stress you put yourself under. But I'm not one of those girls. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you to be one either. But what I will say is the only thing that will get you to where you want to be is taking action. So I would be leaning into every single resource that you have available, whether it's free online content, learning all about it, growing your network in that area, meeting people for coffee. How do you do this? How do you do that? Where do you have the most success? Where do you work? How's the training program there? Having these conversations or calling up the top 5 sales agencies that you want to do and say, hey, can I work for free for a month? Or can I come in after work and do XYZ? Have you got a training program? Do something today that's going to move you forward, because if by the sound of that question, you're wanting to get started in sales, okay, do not tell me in 6 months time you're still wanting to get started. You can start today. You can start after this video. You can just crack on. You can get started. And then you're already starting. Then you're just running with the momentum, okay? You're just going and adding the steps, step by step, move by move, moving things forward. Does that make sense? My biggest piece of advice would be get started, make a move, make it happen, do something that will literally take you 5 minutes today, tomorrow, another 5 minutes, the next day, build on that momentum, and I promise you, you will be in a much better place. And what is the worst that could happen, okay? You commit a couple of months to understanding sales, to giving it a go, having an experience, and you come out of that experience and go, God, I hate sales. It's not for me. You have just saved yourselves years of thinking what if, because you've actually done the thing and you don't have to worry about that one what if anymore. You can let it go. It's part of your past. It's not for you. You have no chance of getting this wrong, because if you get it wrong, you learn from your mistakes, you get better, or you realize, actually, it's not what I wanted to be. I need something else. You make the shift, you move, you do it again. I really, really hope after this video you give that thing a go. Whether it's you talking about sales, whether it's you thinking about taking up skiing, dancing, starting a business, anything. A great question to finish on, because I feel like everyone sometimes just needs that push. I'll be there to give you that push. I'll be there being your biggest cheerleader. Forget about the results, take the action, make it happen, and you will be surprised at what you can achieve. I had a lot more questions, but I'm gonna wrap things up there because I've been chatting for a while and I would love to hear all your feedback. I would love to do more content like this. I didn't realize we had so many other entrepreneurs, other business owners wanting to start on their journey. And I am on the journey, okay? I am figuring this thing out as I go, and I hope to share all my insights, the rough, the smooth, what went well, share my experience, and if it can help someone else, then even better. So please feel free to reach out or drop any other questions that you may have about starting a business, live property, anything in particular that you want me to chat through, and we'll do another one of these soon because it's been so fun. Hope you enjoyed. See you soon. Bye.